to episode 146 of the All the Books show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning. A little bit later, I know we had to take a couple of different shots at introing this episode, but we're here, we're in it.
Yeah.
We're doing it right now. It's just me and Eric, but a little bit later, Mr. Alex Berenson is going to be joining us for some questions here in episode 146. So we're very excited about that. Looking forward to that. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Eric, what's new with you? What have you been reading?
Well, that was real quick.
Yeah, let's go right into our bookmark segment.
Right, we didn't ask how
Did you want to banter a little bit?
I stumbled over that intro like 8 times.
You're right.
A good friend
We
would be
should
like,
savor
hey,
it.
what's going on with you?
We should savor it. Did you watch any movies over the weekend?
I watched Unbreakable.
I watched that too. I watched very odd movies over the weekend. I watched Unbreakable.
Okay.
How long has it been since you've seen Unbreakable?
The
The M. Night Shyamalan film with Bruce Willis, everybody.
8 years.
8 years. And did you still love it as you did as a child, a teenager?
8 years? I was in college. Was the last time I watched it.
Right, but I mean, did it still...
You mean since 2000?
Yeah,
or
does it still have like the nostalgia factor going?
I still think it's cool.
You
Yeah.
do? Okay. I didn't like it as much as I thought.
Well, you were on your phone most of the time.
That's not true. That's not true.
Listeners,
I love Signs and The Sixth Sense so much that I really thought, like, I'm going to love this. It's a very, like, slow burn kind of movie, which I guess I wasn't prepared for.
Okay.
So
maybe if Gary Oldman was wearing 800 pounds of makeup, you'd be like, I love this.
Yeah, stupid.
Hey, I don't know
for
why
like
I'm getting
the
so
darkest
personal
hour
about this. I'm sorry.
No, it's in character.
You can be on your phone
it's
whenever
in character.
you want.
I wasn't on my phone.
I'm just saying, if you want to be on your phone, it's fine. I'm not your mother.
Anyway.
Father, I'm not your father.
Watched Unbreakable.
I'm to say father.
I also watched, I guess we can count this as a page-or-screen adaptation. I watched Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Based on characters created by Pierre Buell in the original, which I've never read. Have you read the original Planet of the Apes books? I'd like to. It's very slim.
Oh.
It's just a small little thing. It's like a novella.
Yeah. Okay.
But Conquest is weird. It's very low-key.
So low budget.
I mean, low budget. It's not low-key. It's like a race war. But everything's kind of takes place in one little compound. It must have cost them about $75 to make that movie.
Yeah. I liked it.
The only one I've got left now is Battle.
Yeah,
Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
which I've heard is even worse.
Yeah, that one's no good.
Okay.
That one's low budget and just like no plot.
Okay.
There's no like cool speeches or lines to. Even I think Roddy McDowell's like, please, can't we do like the?
No, but you said that's Ape has killed Ape, right? That's where that.
Yes, that's where that
line
comes from. Yeah,
that's iconic.
Yes, that's true.
Something.
I'm pretty sure Roddy McDowell was waiting for the.
I still want to see it.
How Green Is My Valley expanded universe to happen,
but it didn't happen.
No.
Okay. Well. That's too bad. And then my last page-of-screen adaptation was Sherlock Gnomes.
Did you watch Sherlock Gnomes?
I took my son to see Sherlock Gnomes yesterday.
Wow.
It was the best that he's ever been in a movie. He was like in it to win it.
Nice.
And I actually liked it more than I thought I would.
Wow.
The Elton John music I liked.
What?
And do you know who plays Sherlock Gnomes?
Yeah, it's Johnny Depp.
It's Johnny Depp. It's like a star-studded cast. I had a good time.
Okay.
It's not a great movie, but I had a good time.
All right. Wow.
That's it for me. Anything else that you did?
I guess we started Westworld season 2, finally. We're like 7 episodes.
Now that's... Michael Crichton wrote the movie, but there's no book or anything that's
Right.
attached to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's based on the Crichton screenplay.
Right.
Okay.
Directed?
I think he did direct the movie. Yeah. I think you're right.
So the Michael Crichton movie.
I love Yul Brynner. I haven't even seen that movie, though.
Oh, it's good.
Okay.
My wife really
70s,
liked it.
right? Like mid to late 70s?
I think it's later 70s,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Because the sequel came out, and I think that's in the 80s.
That's right. There is a sequel.
It sure is.
Good times.
So, yeah, I didn't love season 1 of Westworld, but we're only 1 episode into season 2.
Okay.
So it's fine.
Okay.
It's just one of those shows that's like, please stop, get to the point.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, every episode is 45 minutes of what's going on and then a cliffhanger.
I see. Do we have that in the collection here?
We have season 1.
Season
it
1,
took
we
forever to
we
put
do
that
have.
one out on DVD.
That's cool.
HBO can be very selfish
I see.
about putting their stuff on DVD.
Way to call HBO out.
Yeah.
Now let's move into our bookmark segment. How about that?
Okay.
All right, let's talk about some of the things we've been reading. I knocked a few things out over the weekend.
Okay.
I read 2 graphics I want to tell you about. Archie Volume 5.
Why do you want to tell me this?
The Mark Waid Archie series.
Archie, he can move.
I feel like maybe the dumb CW show is kind of
ruining-
creeping into it a little bit because like there's the drama to like.
You just called a show that you've watched mostly all of real dumb.
Well, it's just been like crescendoing into dumbness.
Right.
It started. I really liked it when it started, but it just kept getting like, whoa.
Are we talking about the comic or the show now?
We're talking about the show.
Okay.
I gave up on the show.
Right.
The comic, though, I can see some of the like roots of the Riverdale show creeping into it, and it's been a little bit more heavy in the drama versus like the humor and the like archiness of it. So I'm on the fence.
Okay.
Still loving Jughead, but they haven't done one in a while. So who
Sure.
knows?
Reggie and Me?
No, Reggie and Me was bad, and so was Betty and Veronica.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about Josie and the Pussycats?
My wife liked it. I didn't.
You haven't? Oh, okay.
So
Do you not like the long tails or the ears for hats?
No, I like all that. That stuff all checks out.
Okay.
Yeah. I read DC Comics Rebirth,
Uh-huh.
which essentially is a prologue.
Yeah.
So I don't know why there. Have you read it?
Rebirth is a messy process.
Yes,
Let me
it
tell
is.
you what. You think just normal birth
Oh, I see.
is something you
Okay.
don't want to stand next to?
Keep it coming.
Rebirth? Mm-mm.
Forget about it.
All right.
Have you read the DC Comics event, Rebirth?
No.
We have the nice deluxe hardcover here in the collection. There's not much to it. I mean, it's cool, but nothing really happens.
Yeah.
And I'm not super into Watchmen, so the Watchmen stuff doesn't pull a lot of like...
I am super into Watchmen.
Yeah.
But I'm not into Watchmen doing more stuff.
Okay.
I'm not into... I guess the whole, like, Doomsday Clock is, like,
Yeah.
the new thing. I think it's still going.
Right.
But it's bringing... It's, like, mixing Watchmen with the DC characters and
Yeah.
stuff. Not cool.
Not a
Not
fan.
cool on my end. I haven't read it, so maybe it's good. But, like, for me, just leave Watchmen alone.
Okay. Fair enough. The book I read was Stranger in Paradise, which is a Jesse Stone book by
Yeah.
Robert Parker.
Isn't that the one I read?
Stranger in Paradise? No, you read The Boxer and the Spy.
No. What's the first book?
Night Passage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You read Night Passage?
I read a long time ago, and I read
That's
the
cool.
sequel. What was the
Nice.
sequel called?
Trouble in Paradise?
Oh, that's where I'm
Yeah.
confused. All right, so I read Night Passage and Trouble in
You
Paradise.
read two. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Did you like them?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I read the second one.
Yeah. Well, you could listen to our whole Robert B. Parker spotlight on the old episode, Hamburger's Bookmark.
No, we renamed it.
I think it's still Hamburger's Bookmark : Robert B. Parker
yeah.
spotlight.
Yeah, you don't want a
And-
hamburger's bookmark in your colon.
And Eric did decide that a Hamburger's Bookmark is a what?
A pickle.
A pickle.
A
Correct.
pickle is a hamburger's bookmark.
Correct.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
That
when
was magic.
we're
Yeah,
just
about
like, what dumb thing did we say?
almost 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, pickle is a hamburger's. Man, I was wise back then.
You were.
Okay.
So Stranger in Paradise,
Two strangers
you know.
in paradise.
it was a little, this wasn't very good.
2 tickets to paradise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sonny Randall is another Robert B. Parker series, and they'd been crossing over,
Mm-hmm.
and it got sloppy and gross, and that
Yeah.
wasn't happening. But I don't know. It was kind of a stumble in the series, I
How
thought.
many books in
And it was also like the sexism was like off the charts, which I don't remember being a huge part of the old Jesse Stone books, but maybe it was, and I'm just like more like keyed in now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was disappointed by it. And there's only, I think I have 2 more Robert B. Parker, Jesse Stone books
Oh.
to go. So I'm nearing the end. Only one Sonny Randall. It's a sad day when I
And
run
that's,
out of Robert Parker books.
That's Helen Hunt.
It was written for Helen Hunt.
Right.
That was why he originally wrote it, but then the movie never came to be, and he just kept writing Sonny Randall books.
So it's Helen Hunt and what's his name?
Tom Selleck, though,
Selleck.
though the characters of Sonny and Jesse in the books are like, our age.
Right. Oh.
You're what, late 30s? 40.
Stop.
Early
Stop
40s.
it. Stop it.
Mid 40s.
I'm not even 32
No,
yet.
they're 30. Like Jesse Stone is late 30s, and and Sonny's probably like 30.
Okay.
They're both great series, and I recommend both of them. I like Spencer too, but
All right. Who's the modern day Tom Selleck?
the modern day Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
I
Who would
think
you get?
I think Tom Selleck would take issue with you implying that there's
Well, I
a
guess
modern day Tom
who would
Selleck.
play the role that a young Tom Selleck would have played these days? Who looks good with that mustache?
That's a good
playing. What was his show?
Magnum.
P-
Well, they're
yeah.
rebooting Magnum PI.
With
so-
him, right?
No.
Oh, I thought he was coming
There's
back.
a new Magnum.
Well,
yeah, so
yeah.
I don't know who that is. I don't know, maybe a Hemsworth?
Hmm.
Slap a mustache on
Like
him.
Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then who's playing a young Ted Danson and a young Steve Gutenberg?
Oh, for the 3 minute and a baby,
yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
the Goot can do it.
I think there's enough Hemsworths.
Yeah.
We could just have it 3 Hemsworths.
3 Hemsworths
brothers.
and a
Chris
and a
Hemsworth,
baby.
Liam Hemsworth, and I think it's Luke Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Just
You don't
get
want to be
them.
that one.
No. He's on Westworld.
Oh, good
But
for
you,
him.
you put the 3 of them in
for
there.
him.
They all have to raise a baby
Yeah.
out back of Australia.
Ooh, that'd be a lot of. Yeah, I was going to say that'd be a lot of Australian.
That'd be fun.
What else? Those are all the books that I read.
Okay.
I'm currently reading 2. I'm reading Most Wanted, which is the YA Han Solo book. by Ray Carson. I'm actually really liking it.
Nick has not seen Solo.
No, I haven't seen Solo yet, but I'm really liking the book, and I think they're doing a really good job of it. Both feels like Han Solo and feels successfully like a young adult book.
Okay.
So I
Lots
think
of
it's
kissing
really
then.
actually there hasn't been a lot of kissing, but the whole like. It's this ragtag group against like the powers that be, and them all like sneaking around, and the way it's laid out feels very like true to the YA formula, the very successful YA formula.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through.
Okay.
Are you gonna read it?
I don't know. I like
Okay.
the character Kira.
Yeah, she's
In
pretty
the movie.
prominent in the.
So
The book takes place before the movie.
yeah. I
Obviously
figured.
not like required reading or something.
Right.
And the novelization.
Well, Han Solo's killed in the movie Solo, so it wouldn't make sense.
The novelization for Solo is coming out in September. Yeah, these are getting later and later. I don't
think
get
it's
it.
to avoid spoilers, but everybody's already spoiled it. Like
Right.
that Sunday.
Yeah,
it comes
and
out.
please don't spoil it because I have not seen it.
Okay.
Would you like to use this opportunity to say how you felt about Solo without spoiling it?
It was fine.
Okay.
I enjoyed the time I spent sitting there watching the movie,
Okay.
and I guess that's it.
You don't think it's not one that you're going to want to rewatch again, is what you're saying.
I see myself putting it on if I'm doing a full Star Wars marathon.
Okay.
But whereas like lots of times I'll just put Empire in.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna
Do that with
just
Solo.
do it with Solo.
Okay.
Though my wife, who's also a big Star Wars fan, really liked it enough that she would just watch Solo.
Yeah. It got glowing reviews from past podcast guest Steve, my little brother,
Yeah.
and Sally, the Queen of Halloween. Both really loved it. So
Yeah.
I got to see it.
Okay.
And then finally, I'm reading for the Page Turners Book Club Basket Case by Carl Hyacin. I've never read Carl Hyacin before.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
I'm sure that's a reference that I'm not
the
getting.
song, Green Day's song, Basket Case.
You thought I'd get a Green Day
I'm one of
reference.
those
This is your first day
melancholy
hanging out with me. What was
Neurotic to the core, no doubt about it.
I've been saving this factoid to tell you.
Ooh.
I'm listening to the audiobook
Of?
the audio of Basket Case
By Green Day?
the Green Day song.
Okay.
Yes, and it is narrated
Please say by Green Day.
by George Newbern.
Oh.
So I've got Superman, the voice
Yeah.
of Superman, reading me
That's
a book.
the second
So
Superman.
it's pretty funny.
That's
Yeah,
the Justice League Superman.
yeah,
So cool.
yeah. He also played the Buckley role in the Father of the Bride movies.
Yeah, he does. He's kind of a goober in that.
Yeah, he is. He was on Scandal too.
Cool.
So yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Scandal?
yeah,
Oh, I'm thinking Tim Daly, who was on Madam President.
yeah, Madam Secretary.
Madam Secretary.
Yeah. He's a good narrator.
Nice.
Which actually is a great transition into one of the things that I wanted to mention. So we'll come back to your bookmark.
We'll
We'll come back to it.
Forget it. Forget it. I
I
don't have
just want
anything
to
to
say, we had a listener request that we talk a little bit about the Audie Awards. So if you're not familiar with the Audie Awards, every year they choose, the best and the brightest in the audiobook world.
Yeah.
So let me give you just a couple of the top winners, and then we'll get right back to Eric's bookmark.
Nick and Eric present the award.
Suspense.
Yeah.
I'm building in a layer of suspense. The audiobook of the
Build a layer
year,
of
and this
suspense.
is not a surprise, went to Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. People loved that
Oh,
audiobook.
right.
with
Well, that
its
had celebrities.
full cast. Yeah, Nick Offerman, David Sedaris, and just about everybody that you've ever
Megan
seen. Megan
Mullally
Mullally
was in
yeah.
it. Who was playing Lincoln's son? I can't remember.
It lists Nick Offerman first, is he not?
Oh, I guess I thought he was just like one of the funny ghosts.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if
possible.
the ghosts are funny.
All right. The autobiography/memoir went to Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen.
Hey, I read
also read by
Wow,
Bruce
how late
Springsteen.
are these awards given out?
It's for 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but I read it in 2016. That book came out in 2016.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the audiobook was later. I don't know.
Oh, that's probably true. Weird.
Yeah. The best female narrator went to Bonnie Turpin for her reading of Angie Thomas's The Hate You Give.
Ah.
And best male narrator went to Trevor Noah for his memoir, reading his own memoir, Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood, which I have not read yet,
Yeah.
and I really want to.
Yeah.
So those are the big ones. You can find the whole thing on the website for the Audie Awards. You can look at audiopub.org, and it'll list the winners out for you, so you can take a look there. So those are the Audie Awards. It's a good
Nice.
place to find, like, a lot of people, when I'm helping them find audiobooks, they seem to care more about the reader. Like there's many people who are like, who reads it? No, I don't like him. Who reads it?
Yeah.
And it's like, doesn't even matter what the title is.
Yeah.
Which I found often when I'm listening to audiobooks, like a really, even kind of a lackluster book can be made a lot more exciting by a good narrator and vice versa.
Do you like when an author reads their own work?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like David Sedaris is great reading
Right.
his stuff. And Jeanette Walls read The Glass Castle. She was very good. Lemony Snicket reads some of the Series of Unfortunate Events, and it's terrible. But, you have to compare him to Tim Curry, who reads the others.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's unfair.
Neil Gaiman
But
reads his own. And
I've heard good things about Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, I think
reading.
it benefits that he's British. I think that helps. So.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that would be true. I was listening to the Hillary Clinton Hard Choices. She reads the first chapter, and then it transitions to an actress who is a pretty good sound-alike. So you
Kate
easily,
McKinnon?
yeah, you easily kind of transition into just accepting it. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think if they've got if they're good at it,
Yeah.
then absolutely, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is the Audie Awards, and now the suspense is over because we're going to find out what Eric read. Take it away.
I read a Batman book that
Well,
you
that
wouldn't like.
was not suspenseful
Sorry.
in any way. We knew that.
I read a Batman graphic novel. You wouldn't like it. It's called Batman Year 100.
This is Potato Batman.
The art is very off-putting.
Yeah.
Even like I finished the whole thing, but even by the end, I'm like, nope, still gross art. It's not gross like it's gory or anything. It's just his drawings of the human figure they're just offensive. Like they don't stand or look like humans look. They're so mushy. They look like a bunch of mashed potatoes that are trying to get into a movie theater. They're like, I'll have one ticket, please. It's like, you are helping of mashed potatoes.
What is this Batman
Year
said
100?
Year 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is by Paul Pope.
This is not one we have in our collection.
No.
You got this in a
I think
library loan. Okay.
this is both a little like obscure, but people who have read lots of Batman comics know this one. But this one's not as big as like Long Halloween and everything. Anyway, it's cool though.
Is this a Bruce Wayne story or is this an alternate Batman?
Well, that's the question throughout the book.
Oh, I see. All
It's
right,
the
well, don't
idea.
spoil it.
It's what's interesting is there's a new Batman. It's like the year. It's 2039,
2039, yep.
and a Batman has appeared.
I've got the synopsis. Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
In Gotham City 2039, a federal agent is murdered and a contingent of Washington's top agents is hot on the suspect's trail. The Batman, a forgotten icon from the past, is wanted for the murder. Amid the chaos, Gotham City Police Detective Gordon, grandson of the former commissioner, discovers that the man they're chasing shouldn't exist at all.
Yeah. Well, because there's police evidence of the past of Batman in the past.
Okay.
And it starts in 1939, and then in the 60s, and then he reappears in 1986, which was Batman Year 1, and then again in 2005, which was Batman Begins. And so it's kind of like it's acting as if Batman has been around since he was created in 1939. And so the question is, how has a Batman stayed around for
Batman
100
Year
years?
100.
Yeah. So I liked it.
You did.
I liked it.
Did you already send it back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I returned it. Maybe it's not sent back.
Ooh.
Maybe it's
Yeah, I'll read
downstairs.
it.
It was an interlibrary loan,
Okay.
actually. It's not in our system, but
Yeah.
we do have an interlibrary loan system, which gets
That's
us
right.
books from all over the country.
Any book you want.
Yeah.
We can get it.
So yesterday, I picked up a book called Jurassic Park
Oh, I've heard of that.
by Michael Crichton.
Yeah. Up and comer.
Yes. Well, that's probably a little dark now. And yeah, so I just started reading it, and then I just kept reading it, and now I'm halfway done with it.
Are you going to...
Finish it? Yes.
Well, yes, but I mean, you're going to go the distance? You're going to read Lost World?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my second reading of Jurassic Park, like I ended it, and like as soon as I finished Jurassic Park, I just put it down and picked up the second one and just finished the second one in one day.
It's been a long time since I've read those books.
Jurassic
I loved them.
Park
I was all in.
It's interesting now because, I mean, they're talking about like 1986 like it was just yesterday.
Right.
And they're talking about like, can you believe this will be done by 1995? So that's interesting. Them talking about computers is interesting, but it's so great. The movie kind of, because the movie's its own beast, and it's the greatest movie ever made. But what's interesting about the book is that it's just such a mix of like technologies getting a little too advanced for people to control.
Okay.
Genetic manipulation might be too powerful for us to like be responsible with. And then you bring in the dinosaurs and the whole concept is just so, everything's just so integrated together in the book. Whereas the movie just kind of deals with, should we bring back dinosaurs? And oh no, the dinosaurs have escaped.
Right.
But
What year did you first read it?
1998.
Wow.
Yeah.
Early.
And I actually read Lost World first.
That's crazy.
Well, I had already seen Jurassic Park.
Makes more sense then.
Yeah.
Well, Lost World is really kind of a sequel to the movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think.
Do-
Well, I mean, Malcolm,
yeah.
for one.
Yeah. No, so I read Jurassic Park in 1998, and I read Lost World right before I saw
Okay.
Lost World, the movie, I believe, or
Okay.
right after. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, I'm still enjoying it. It's great. But it's interesting. This time around, I definitely find Lex to be extremely annoying.
Yeah.
I find Malcolm to be a little pretentious.
Oh, sure.
And it is kind of funny because everything just starts like falling apart so quickly. Like I'm halfway through, none of the dinosaurs have escaped, but it's like as soon as Malcolm and Grant and everybody gets to the island, things just start going wrong. And sometimes it's so simple stuff. Like, I don't know if you remember this fact, but they had a system of tracking dinosaurs to make sure none of them escaped. So they put in a number. They would like look for 200 dinosaurs, and it would find 200 dinosaurs. And like, see, they're all here. And then Malcolm's like, well, what if you put in more than 200 dinosaurs? Like, oh, well, that was so they put in 230. Like, oh, there's 230 dinosaurs. And then they put in 300. It's like, oh no, there's 290 dinosaurs here. It's like no one was just like, I wonder what happens if
Yeah.
I put a little bit higher. Like, I would have done that all the time.
Do you like them equally? The books?
I've
I've always preferred Lost World. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, you mean which books do I prefer?
Which book do you like best?
Yeah, I probably prefer them equally.
You do.
I'll tell you this
Well,
time
you can't
around.
prefer things equally, but I understand.
Oh yeah, I like.
I
them
understand your
equally.
point.
Lost World is very cool,
Agreed.
but so is Jurassic Park.
Agreed.
So, anyway, so I'm reading that. I'm liking it.
And you're gonna watch all the movies.
Yeah.
Taya Leone, William H. Macy. All
Yes,
the
I'm
movies.
gonna watch Jurassic Park 3. I'm not gonna skip it this time around.
Good for you.
That's all.
All
That's
right.
I got.
Exciting times. And Jurassic World comes out.
The end of this month, the
Oh, really?
22nd.
Wow.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
That's soon.
Brought to you by.
So you're taking the week off work and just gonna
Yeah.
do basically like a pub crawl, but with seeing Jurassic Park and
Seeing
several
Jurassic.
movies.
Yeah.
I did that with Superman Returns.
A
And
pub crawl?
I don't want to discuss it. No, I just saw Superman Returns a million times in theaters.
Wow.
Not
is-
since like Spider-Man 1 had I seen a movie that many times.
Okay.
In theaters.
Wow. There's also a game. You know the Telltale games.
Yeah.
They did a Jurassic Park one.
Oh, okay.
It got decent reviews. Some just call it a visual movie. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll play a video
I love
game
the
version.
Jurassic Park arcade games.
Yeah, these are different. These are much slower, I think. But
Yeah.
you also have the Genesis Jurassic Park game. that
Oh
you
my
love.
gosh, yes.
Yeah.
That's still to my money, that is one of the best video games ever made. I mean it.
Is that because you have all the cheat codes memorized?
I do have them.
So
yeah.
you can just transport
If anybody's
yourself to the
listening,
river?
4NNB2009 will take you to the river level, which everyone knows is the best.
That's
so,
crazy.
Yep.
That's where you're Grant on a raft
You're Grant on a raft.
trying to avoid a T-Rex trying to eat you.
You got to keep
on the
switching
river.
directions. You got to be tossing flash grenades. It's a lot going on, but
All
it's a
right.
lot of fun.
Yeah, that was 2-player, right?
No, you could play it either as Grant or as the T-Rex.
Oh,
And it's different levels and stuff either way.
there you go.
Pretty great stuff.
that's
Boy,
what I've been
a lot
reading.
of Jurassic Park. Okay.
Hey man, with the new one coming out, because next week I'll be talking about Lost World.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and I'll have to talk about the end of Jurassic Park.
I'm ready for
I
it.
have no idea. The T-Rex just got out.
Okay.
Or is about to get out. The baby is
Look out,
gone.
everyone.
The big one is out. I can't remember if Muldoon dies or not in this one.
Spoiler
Don't
alert.
tell me. yeah, Muldoon
Okay,
dies.
well, let's turn to some advanced notices here. I can tell you what is going on in the book world.
What is going on?
All right.
Look into the future to see what it proves. It's time for book news.
This one's interesting. All right.
Oh.
You remember the Fox and O'Hare books, the Janet Ivanovich books that we always kind of tease?
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Co-written with Lee Goldberg. Lee Goldberg, who wrote the Monk books, the Diagnosis
Oh,
Murder
yeah.
books.
Yes.
She's been writing with Lee Goldberg the whole time, and now we have an announcement of book 6 coming out,
Ooh.
and we've got a new co-author. And the co-author of this is Raymond Benson, who
Benson?
was the official James Bond writer for several years.
Which ones did he write?
He wrote 0-30,
Oh, okay.
that era. Sorry, 0-10, High Time to Kill.
Okay.
A bunch of different ones. The
All right, so
Facts
now
of
he's-
Death. You take the good, you take
Yeah.
the bad.
Yeah, you take the Bond.
Yeah, so now I like it. So now he's writing with Janet Ivanovich on this Fox and O'Hare series. So if you're a fan of that,
Even Janet Ivanovich, and she's not like as old as Clive Cussler, right?
I wouldn't think so. No. She'd never ask a lady her age, as the old-fashioned
I
thing
do
to
ask the
say.
internet at
So-
a lady's age, though.
Okay, go ahead. I'll read you the
Janet
synopsis.
Ivanovich.
Janet Ivanovich fans, of which there are legion. Nikki and I were over at the American Legion this morning
Holy
showing
cow.
our...
She's 75 years old.
all right, good
She
for
is
her.
up there with the other people
With
getting
the Clive Cussler.
with the Clive Cussler. Well, I
Anyway,
think Clive Cussler's like
we were at
92.
the See All You Can See clinic for low vision this morning, and we were showing off some of our audiobooks and large print books, and we had a Janet Ivanovich there, and most of the people who talked to us were like, Janet Ivanovich, I love her. That's all.
People do love her.
I know. She's so super popular. This is not a Stephanie Meyer, Stephanie Plum.
Yeah.
This is not a Stephanie Plum, though. Here is your synopsis. A sinister adversary has Nick Fox and Kate O'Hare in his crosshairs and will stop at nothing to eliminate them. They'll need to assemble a team to defeat their enemy. Unfortunately, their number one player, Kate's father, is on the run on the most wanted list. After being betrayed by an old friend, the trio is going to have to watch their backs at every turn to rid the world of their two greatest foes and clear their names. Coming out in August, the latest Janet Ivanovich, The Mark. Fox and O'Hare, Book 6.
Yeah.
Also coming in August, this is a Laurel K. Hamilton. Have you ever read any of her books?
No,
She
but I
writes
know
a
who
lot-
you're talking about.
Okay. I read, I picked up a book. It was a Star Trek Next Generation book,
Uh-huh.
and I read it, and I loved it. It's one of my favorite Star Trek Next Gen books,
Right.
and it's written by her.
And you don't really like Next Gen.
I haven't read a ton of I do like Next Gen. I haven't read a ton of the Next Gen novels, but
Okay.
I was surprised that she wrote a Next Gen book.
Right.
While she was super famous, it's not like it's an early thing. She just was like, "Yeah, I'll write a Next Gen book."
Well, you know, when I was a late teen, I used to think like I'm going to become a published author,
Yeah.
so I can get into comic books.
Really,
So maybe that was her. She's like, I'm
Could
going to
be.
become a famous person, so I can finally get my hands on the Star Trek universe.
A Deanna Troy
So
centric Star Trek book. This is book number 26 in the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter
Ooh,
series.
yeah.
So,
Quick question.
This is coming out in August, so if you haven't read this series, you only have to read 25 books between
Oh my
now and
gosh.
then.
Does putting
caught
the term vampire hunter after somebody's name make you more or less likely to pick up that book?
Alex Cross, Vampire Hunter. No, I don't
No.
like it.
But you just like the Alex Cross. You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, who's this
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Vampire Hunter helps.
Not-
I mean,
doesn't do
it
it for you
sounds
anymore.
funny,
Right.
but
yeah.
Anita Blake, Vampire Hunter, returns for her 26th adventure. Fans of Charlene Harris and Anne Rice will delight in the series by Sunday Times and New York Times best-selling author Laurel K. Hamilton. A hardcore guilty pleasure. The Times Anita Blake faces her... Oh, that's from the Times.
Right.
Anita Blake faces new, even deadlier enemies as she and the people she loves confront major changes in their lives. Boy, that was an underwhelming synopsis.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
It should read
for
like,
that.
the king vampire of Atlantis has come to land.
This one's better.
Okay.
I feel like that one was almost apologetic. The
Yeah.
other one was like, listen, there's another one of these.
Sorry about the vampires.
Here's a better one, okay? A remote Florida island is the perfect wedding destination for the upcoming nuptials of Anita's fellow U.S. Marshal and best friend, Edward.
Uh-oh.
For Anita, the vacation is a welcome break, as it's the first trip she gets to take with
Go on. Read his name.
were-leopards.
Uh-huh.
They're like werewolves, but
They're leopards.
We're
Were-leopards, yeah.
Were-leopards. With were-leopards, Micah and Nathaniel.
Uh-huh.
But it's not all fun and games and bachelor parties. In this tropical paradise, Micah discovers a horrific new form of lycanthropy, one that has afflicted a single family for generations. Believed to be the result of ancient Greek curses, it turns human bodies into a mass of snakes.
Gah.
Yowza. When long simmering resentment leads to a big blowout within the wedding party, the last thing Anita needs is more drama. But it finds her anyway when women start disappearing from the hotel, and worse, her own friends and lovers are considered the prime suspects. There's a strange power afoot that Anita has never confronted before, a force that's rendering those around her helpless in its thrall. Unable to face it on her own, Anita is willing to accept the help from even the deadliest places, help that she will most certainly regret. If she survives at all, that is.
Oh, boy.
Look, I'm not sure that was better
Yeah.
than what I read before.
Yeah.
It was more informative,
Yeah.
but was it better?
I was thinking if she's trapped on an island with a bunch of vampires, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But,
Sounds like just a regular like wedding hubbub
yeah.
with people's bodies turning into masses of
Snakes,
snakes
yeah,
and
yeah.
a guy named Micah turning into a leopard.
Listen.
At the full moon, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a were-leopard.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that is book number 26 in Anita Blake, Vampire Hunter,
Yeah.
coming to you in August.
Cool.
This is a large print entry. So large print fans, coming to your way in large print, we have One Last Breath by Lisa Jackson and Nancy Bush. Roy Abernathy's wedding.
Another
same wedding. Do you
Oh,
think? Do you think it's the
geez.
same wedding?
Do you know? I believe in my heart that if Jurassic Park 4 had happened on schedule right after the William H. Macy one, it would have starred Tay Leone and William H. Macy going to an island to renew their vows.
Yeah.
And it would be a Jurassic Park island, and there'd be dinosaurs on it.
Jurassic Park wedding.
Yeah, and you'd be totally on board with that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
let's-
you sold me.
Yeah, they'd be
You
like,
sold me
oh,
on it.
geez, I thought this was going to be our honeymoon.
I'm going to read you the blurbs from this. Superb, a masterpiece of romantic suspense.
Ooh,
That's from Publishers
romantic
Weekly.
suspense.
And definitely one you don't want to read alone at night.
Isn't all romance suspenseful?
I think suspense in that there's an element of danger, not suspense in
You're still describing romance.
is
to
there
me.
will they won't they? Oh, so romantic. All right, so this is coming in large print from Lisa Jackson and Nancy Bush.
All right.
What's
That's it. I thought you.
what's cracking on the New York Times bestseller list? Do the kids say?
Do the kids say what's cracking?
What's cracking? Yeah,
Yes.
they do.
Yeah, you should definitely go.
I should keep saying it.
You should walk around town like,
And
hey
just be like,
kids,
hey
what's
kids,
cracking?
like snap
Yeah.
my fingers. Hey,
Yeah.
Daddy-o,
Yeah.
what's cracking?
What they like to see happen is you go buy
Yeah.
a Coke from a vending machine,
Yeah.
but a quarter is wrapped around a string, wrapped around your finger. Oh. And so you put the quarter in the machine, and then you take the quarter out, free soda.
Hey, I'm buying what you're selling, my
Okay.
friend. I like the sound of that.
So, yeah.
New York Times bestseller list,
Okay.
please, if you would.
On the hardcover fiction, adult fiction,
All right.
grown-up fiction,
You grown up.
kids out of the pool.
Yeah, get out.
Parent time.
Adult Swim.
Parents, Adult Swim. Yeah, like the show.
It's not a show.
The
It's a
Block.
block of shows.
Gosh, I didn't realize you were such an expert on Adult Swim.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Don't ever make that mistake again.
All right. So, number 10 on the New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover fiction, we have Twisted Prey by John Sanford. Mm-hmm. You don't like these Prey books. They're too gruesome
yes,
for
they
you.
freak me out.
The 28th book in the Prey series, a federal marshal looks into the actions of a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee. None of this ever really tells us anything.
No.
Number 9, the High...
Is there any like snake bodies and leopard weddings?
Federal marshal looks into the actions of a member of Senate Intelligence Committee who are turning people into snake
snakes,
bodies.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, The High Tide Club by Mary Kay Andrews. I don't know if you know this, but the tide is rising. But
Yeah.
I'm hanging on.
Okay. Green Day?
No, I'm going to be your number 1.
Oh.
That's Ace of Base, I believe.
Okay,
no, that's
so-
Blondie.
Oh.
Whew. Sorry,
You're
everybody, that I just called
ignorant.
Blondie Ace of Base.
Ignorance.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I see the sign.
I
That's the Ace of Base.
could you maybe quote like the Monkees or the Beach Boys? That would really. Hey, catch a wave, and you're sitting on top of the world.
Is that the Beach Boys?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a very relatable reference. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, people hate the Beach Boys. Okay.
No, they don't hate the Beach
All
Boys.
right.
I'm just saying I knew it was the Beach Boys because the word wave was in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So,
Could have been Jan and Dean. You don't know.
who's Jan and Dean?
Exactly.
I didn't know. You're right. Number 9, the High Tide Club. And an eccentric millionaire enlists the attorney Brooke Trapnell
Vampire Hunter.
to fix old wrongs, which set up a potential scandal and murder. What? I thought these were like fun. Let's go to the beach.
Mary
books.
Kay Andrews. Yeah, I guess I kind of thought that too.
Yeah. I mean, the picture is them hanging out at the beach.
beach, sure.
Oh, hold up. What is this?
I don't know.
I can't tell. It won't.
It's
There's a little crab.
visual.
There's a
Visual.
little crab walking over to the beach
A little
box.
crab.
Number 3, Warlight.
Warlight.
I mean, number 8, Warlight.
yeah.
Michael. Oh,
Fassbender.
Nope. Adonche.
Corleone.
In Britain, after World War II, a pair of teenage siblings are taken under the tutelage of a mysterious man and his cronies who served during the war.
Is it Last Man? It is, isn't
I
it?
think it was Lasman.
Come with me and my cronies, you two teenagers. I shall take you away from Britain.
Do you know which teenagers you found last night?
They're just two average teenagers, I assume.
It's me, Akos!
Oh no!
And my brother!
Akos' brother, no!
Where's Akos the brother?
Oh, with apologies to Veronica Roth.
Yeah. Also, sorry about your trilogy.
Yeah. It's a duology now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 7, Before We Were Yours. Everybody's reading this. It's been here for 36 weeks.
Yeah.
South Carolina, by Lisa Wingate, a
Oh,
South Carolina
right.
lawyer learns about questionable practices at a Tennessee orphanage.
Yeah.
Have we already talked about that bad X-Men animated series episode where Cyclops goes back to his old orphanage and finds out that Purple Man is using the mutant children there for his own purposes?
Purple Man?
Purple Man's
Like
in
David
there.
Tennant, Purple Man?
Yeah, it's Kilgrave, and he's
Okay.
got the purple skin and everything.
Wow.
But one of them has wheelchair transformation powers. One of the mutants.
It's a weird set of powers.
It's weird to think that mankind evolved
Yeah.
to that, but he does. He turns his wheelchair into a tank.
He can turn it into a tank. Wow.
Yeah,
Tell Cyclops I made him a convertible.
that would be a line from the X-Men animated
Animated
series.
series, yeah. Okay, go on.
Number 6, new this week.
Hey.
Beach House Reunion.
Oh.
By Mary Alice Monroe. 3 generations of a family gather one summer in South Carolina. Oh, sounds like a recipe for trouble.
I'll say.
Yeah, get the aspirin.
Yeah, am I
You're
right?
gonna have some headaches.
Gonna be a lot of red wine
Yeah.
consumed that weekend.
Yeah. 3 generations. So that's grandparents, parents, and kids.
Yeah.
Or
Great grandparents.
yeah, grandparents.
It doesn't say 3 consecutive generations. So
That's
you
true.
could have a great grandparent,
Yeah.
a child,
A turtle.
their child.
Okay. Yeah. Babies raising babies.
Yeah, you
having
can have
reunions.
turtles, with turtles.
Yeah.
All the way down.
Number 5. Ooh, you better hope your beach house reunion isn't this.
I do.
By invitation only.
Oh.
That'd be pretty rough. Family reunion.
Yeah.
That's invitation.
Oh, hey, cousin Rick. It's so great to see you. Unfortunately, playing a bit of a numbers game here. Only got so much quiche and red wine and aspirin.
Quiche, red wine, and aspirin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a family get together. Only non-consecutive generations are allowed
Right,
at this
yeah.
by invitation only
Yeah.
beach house.
Yeah. So this is by Dorothy Beaton Frank.
Benton, I think.
Benton.
Yeah.
So Dorothy does not beat Frank. So
Dorothy Beaton Frank is her rap name because she
Yeah,
drops the
yeah.
sick beats.
This was invitation only,
And
Frank.
her lyrics are real Frank. So,
Okay, yeah. 2 families are brought together when the daughter of a Chicago power broker and the son of a southern peach farmer decide to wed.
oh my gosh. Hello. My name is former President Jimmy Carter. My daughters come here to Chicago to wed.
It's the son.
My son, I mean, I'm very old.
Okay. I thought you
So-
were.
I'm a simple peanut farmer, yeah.
This is a peach.
I've
farmer.
diversified.
Do you have anybody in mind for your Chicago power broker?
Oh, yeah, like a,
Matthew McConaughey?
Nah, too obvious. Too obvious. Could we do like an Alec Baldwin? I mean, he's very like New York, but
Yeah. What
might
about
still feel.
What about Christian Bale?
No, thank you.
Oh, jeez.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of Christian Bale
Nah.
in general.
Nah.
That's real dumb.
Sorry. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
What about the tall British one?
The tall British Christian Bale?
Tall British guy. Sherlock. You know who I'm
Benedict
talking.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
With an American accent.
No.
Oh, you don't like Benedict either.
I'm not a huge fan.
You don't like anyone that ladies seem to prefer over you, I've noticed.
I think
So-
you've really cracked this wide open.
So, hey, I get it, man.
Yeah. Ladies always prefer Jimmy Carter to me.
I was just going to say, like, women prefer Ewan McGregor over me.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I have to hate Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
I admire the man.
Good.
So,
Yeah. Well, I could learn a lot from you.
I like how you decided to say women prefer Jimmy Carter over you
Yeah.
instead of any of the other
Yeah.
handsome actors.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's a former president, Eric.
Okay, I can't. Yeah, he can work with his hands.
Yeah, he can.
He's been out there.
Yeah.
tilling. Do you till soil for a peanut farm?
The man's 108 years old. Built a house for a homeless family with his bare hands.
Yeah, and
That's
now
honest. That's only a slight exaggeration.
and
if
now
we're
his
being
son's
honest.
getting married.
Yeah.
So-
To a Chicago power broker
Daughter.
daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the daughter does for work. I don't know
Well,
what the
she's
son
probably
does
in
for
the
work.
business. She's probably in the family
The
business.
son probably helps out with the peach farming.
I would think he does.
You would need that.
Yeah.
It's
It's a multi-generational peach farming situation, not consecutive generations.
I don't
but-
know a lot about farming in general, but can you survive just off farming peaches alone? I imagine you need
If
to
you have a bumper peach crop, you probably can. You live real simple, like your Jimmy Carter's.
Right, okay.
Yep.
You mean like live simple as in run the United States of America
Right,
for a
yeah,
few years?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, only 4.
Oh, sure. Come on. That's a vacation.
Yeah, he's a one-term president. Wrote a work of fiction until Bill Clinton teams up with James Patterson and releases there The President is Missing. Jimmy
that's
Carter
true.
currently is the only president who has written a piece of fiction. The Hornet's Nest.
Okay. I think some other presidents have written a piece of fiction.
Number
4.
Twitter doesn't count.
Number 4, The Fallen by David Baldacci. Amos Decker, known as the Memory Man.
You can just say Amos.
Amos? What have I been saying?
Amos.
Oh, Amos.
Amos.
Yeah. Amos Decker, known as the Memory Man, puts his talents towards solving a string of murder in the Rust Belt town.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
the
helpful.
Rust Belt town.
The
one and only Rust Belt town.
Rust Belt.
Yeah.
Number 3, The 17th Suspect by James Patterson and Maxine Pietro. This is the latest installment. It just
How weird is your life? You're like, do I want to write a book with Maxine Pietro or former President William Jefferson Clinton? Yeah, I Maxine Pietro, and then I'll try William Jefferson Clinton as a
both.
writing partner.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not an either or. It's an also
Yeah,
and.
James Patterson can have his cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Do you think he sleeps on a mattress just stuffed with $100 bills?
$100 bills.
Yeah.
Wow. What is he, a pauper? Was he a farmhand?
That's in his summer
Yeah.
house. That's on his
geez.
peach farm.
Yeah. If you want a memory phone, you're using bigger bills than
Yeah,
that.
I get all my memory foam from the Memory Man.
Memory Man. Yeah.
Amos Decker.
So this will help me sleep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Then take it from me.
The Memory Man or the Kool-Aid Man?
A little of both.
Oh yeah.
James Patterson.
I feel sorry for the people who are tuning in just to listen to Alex Berenson
Sorry,
talk.
everybody.
He's coming, I swear.
Yeah. The Women's Murder Club.
Murder Club.
I've been watching Barry with Bill Hader.
Yeah.
And there's a one of the women who plays a cop in the show. She was in the show Women's Murder Club.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize there was a show.
I think it was just one season.
Well, okay. That's all. I'm
Yeah.
just connecting it to Barry.
Oh, thank you.
The
the
I've been
HBO
watching.
show.
It's pretty funny. I would talk about it, but it's a lot of telling of jokes. And I feel like I should do that off air.
Or not, or don't.
You know what?
Or don't.
I'll tell you the jokes later. It's
Well-
fine. I'll recreate them just like that you were watching the show.
Okay.
But it's going to be like a one-man performance.
And I will react as former President Jimmy Carter.
Oh, yeah, that was very funny.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Who is that supposed to be?
Sorry.
So weird. It sounded like Warren Harding. That was so
Who?
Former President Warren Harding.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know what you're doing.
How does Warren Harding sound like?
Whatever you just said.
Number 2, The Cast by Danielle Steele, a magazine columnist. Shut up.
Just
You shut your
just
mouth.
an extra syllable in columnist. I liked
A
it.
magazine columnist. Oh, the microphone's in my way. That's why I can't pronounce these things.
Boy.
Meets an array of Hollywood professionals
Real
when a
professional.
producer turns a story about her grandmother into a TV series.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Story about grandma.
Yeah, somebody's trying to get Thanksgiving points.
I guess so.
Yeah. So
I made a television show about my grandma. What'd you do?
I made her a macaroni necklace.
Well, mine's a television show, so it's kind of...
Maybe I'll make her a paper plate bean shaker next year.
Yeah, okay, I'm thinking about a movie deal.
Put glue and
Happy-
sparkles.
Thanksgiving, Grandma.
Oh. Number 1.
Number 1.
Can you guess who it is?
Oh, let's see. Can I guess who it is?
Number 1, new this week. Debuted at number 1.
No.
The Outsider by Stephen King.
Oh, right. And this is just a legit Stephen King, no co-writing with less successful children.
Yeah, he told his
Straight up.
kids. This
yeah,
is,
he was like, sorry, Owen.
Yeah.
Hit the streets.
Yeah, this is Daddy's time.
48 years old. Stephen King's back.
Yep. A detective investigates seemingly wholesome member of the community when an 11-year-old boy's body is found in a town park.
Yeah.
That body is still alive. The boy's fine.
Oof, I
No,
don't
he's
think-
fine.
I don't think so.
That 11-year-old boy's fine. He's like, how? You
I
found
don't
me at
know
the park,
that-
thanks.
That's a weird subject matter, I feel like, to put out a book about right now. Like a dead child. I don't know. It's not one I want to read.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
you're
read-
a father.
I didn't read Sleeping Beauties either, so.
Yeah. You have problems watching movies now where like little kids look like your own son,
Yeah.
and then Anakin Skywalker comes in and
Right.
cleans house.
Are you an angel?
Yeah.
Huh.
Different Anakin Skywalker.
Different
you were
moment.
going with the later Anakin Skywalker. I understand.
Yeah.
All right, so you number
Wes-
one
do you
Stephen
think
King.
Do you think your son is going to hit on Natalie Portman at a very young age?
I would like to think so.
Okay. Speaking
I
of,
guess I'm a little surprised Stephen King's.
no, he debuts at number 1.
Does he
still.
usually? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they just don't have legs.
That
Seems
might be
like
true.
there's
well,
a
he
big
writes
pop and then-
he has. They come out so fast.
Well, he's kind of slowed down. I think without
Without
the
his
last
son.
two have been co-writes. Wendy's Button Box and Sleeping Beauties were both co-writes.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. Okay. I think I was going to.
I think there's a lot of disappointment with Sleeping Beauty. So, this one might have a little bit more people like classic Stephen King. And it does seem like that's sort of where the marketing's going with this, like the look of it and everything. Sort of, it seems like they're trying to like
It looks scary.
Yeah,
It's all charcoal sketch.
Stephen King, right? It does. It does look scary.
All right.
Okay, well, as we talked about a little earlier, we had a special guest this week visit the David A. Howe Public Library.
Was it me?
Yeah, but you're here every week, so
Right.
you're neither a guest and special in your own way,
Right.
but you being here
Is special.
is
Special to you and the
the word?
listeners
average
and the library. Right.
normal.
An average amount of speciality.
Okay, all right. We had our first author visit of 2018 with Alex Berenson joining us. He and I. Well, we talk a little bit about this in the interview, but it's been a long time coming where we've been trying to work this out. So we're so excited that he made it here. He was really impressed with the library, liked the look of it, thought it was a cool town.
Yeah.
We recommended Texas Hot, and he seemed like he was heading in that direction.
Yeah.
So we'll have to follow up and see if he actually tried the Texas Hot. So I know he had a long drive.
Right.
We'll see.
Okay.
But anyway, let's turn it over to our interview with Alex Berenson.
Books presents Author Spotlight.
All right. So thank you for joining us on this special episode of the All the Book Show. We just have a few questions for our guest author, Alex Berenson. Nick, do you want to start with the first question? You gave me the mic.
I know. Yeah, I kicked the mic over to Eric so he can get us rolling here. But first, I want to say, Alex, thanks so much for coming. It's funny to be sitting here across from you after I feel like we've been pen pals for almost a year now.
Yes, I was wondering if it would happen.
Right.
But the day came, and here I am.
We finally found it. You didn't catfish me. You're really Alex Berenson. Here we are. So we've got a couple questions for you here, so I'll get it going with the first in our Take 5. So you mentioned a little bit to the folks here in the audience that you started your career as a journalist, working with the Denver Post, TheStreet.com, ultimately the New York Times. Can you tell us a little bit more about that transition to full-time author? And I'm curious specifically, are there things that you miss?
Sure. So a lot of journalists, I think, want to be novelists, or at least did want to be novelists back in the day. There's a lot of reasons for that. But one reason I think people outside journalism don't understand, or though maybe they're understanding it better now, is that as a journalist, you can only get so close to the truth. You're sort of dependent on people to tell you the truth. And if they lie to you, you're not a prosecutor. You can't try them for perjury or anything like that. And in writing novels, you control your whole world. And, the characters can lie to each other. They could lie to themselves, but they're not going to lie to you. And that's a very fulfilling feeling when you're used to being somebody who just asks questions that may or may not get batted down. So that's definitely something that I enjoy about being a novelist. And I've missed journalism less than I thought I would, which is sort of funny to say because now I'm back on this big nonfiction project.
Right.
Occasionally there's a really great story. This guy named John Carreyrou for the Wall Street Journal wrote about Theranos and essentially brought that company down and saved a lot of people from getting bad blood tests.
Okay.
And to me, that he did a real public service. And that kind of investigative reporting is great. And occasionally there's a story that I wish that I'd done that. But especially now where the press is sort of stuck in such an adversarial position with the White House.
Absolutely.
I think it's I think it's difficult. I mean, I think there are reporters who really get off on that and really like being on CNN every day and really being opinionated and knowing that, half the country can't stand them and the other half is rooting for them. I don't necessarily think that's the best kind of journalism, although I think unfortunately or fortunately it's where the profession is right now.
Okay.
So I do sort of I don't miss that.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I don't think I would either. Eric, you want to take question 2?
Your Edgar-winning debut novel, The Faithful Spy, that was written following your time as a correspondent in Iraq. But what about that experience compelled you to actually write fiction?
So I talked a little bit to the audience about this, but I saw a lot of stuff over there, and as a reporter for the Times, you are encouraged to, get out, talk to people, find real stories, find out what's really happening, in the country. But again, you can only get so deep. I couldn't write from the perspective of a poor Iraqi or an American soldier, and I thought that I would be able to do that more as a novelist. Now, the downside is, am I really capturing somebody if I've, based on my experience of a few months as a correspondent, or am I sort of making it up as I go along and it doesn't really capture somebody's experience? That's a real question that I wrestle with, and I still wrestle with it. But I do think that having the experience that I did have definitely informed The Faithful Spy and the later books, and hopefully it made those books more authentic than a lot of similar spy novels. Hopefully they could be, in a perfect world, I would have been there longer and they would have been even better and more authentic. But when you look at, and I'm certainly not comparing myself to, let's say, Graham Greene, but, Graham Greene lived in those, he lived in Vietnam, he lived in Haiti, he lived in Mexico for years, and those books are really informed by his experiences there. And so the longer you can stay in a place and really see it, I think the better your fiction is likely to be.
Thank you. So sticking with The Faithful Spy for a minute, we've discussed a little bit how John Wells is a Muslim character. He finds great solace and inspiration in the religion of Islam. And I thought that was a bold move to make a character. So 2006 is that when this was written?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty close window to 9/11 to make your primary character a Muslim character. And I'm curious why you did that and how you think that informs the character. I think it's a really fascinating aspect of it.
So he becomes Muslim at some level because he has to. He's over there for all those years. And I don't mean that they compel him to. I mean that for his own sanity, he's living in this foreign culture and he has to either adapt politically, which he's never going to do, and sort of say the United States is this terrible place and I'm going to bring it down, or he has to find some other bond with these men he's living with, and Islam is that bond. And Wells is he's a seeker by nature. He's not really a believer. And so, at some point in one of the later books, somebody says, well, how could you believe in this instead of Christianity? He says, well, do you really believe that Jesus rose from the dead? And so, in every religion, there are things that you have to take on faith. That's what faith is. Sure. And so Wells finds this community, and there are things about Islam that he really likes, especially this idea that you can come out, you can show up basically anywhere in the world as a believer, and if your belief is genuine, you'll be taken in. Obviously that's the Sunni versus Shia. There are exceptions to that, but on the whole, Islam has fewer sects than Christianity, and so Wells does appreciate that. So it puts him in this very difficult place in some ways. The United States, the CIA, they don't trust him entirely because they know he's converted, and they wonder if he's converted to the sort of ideology of Islam too, and the Al Qaeda does not really trust him because they know he's American. So it puts him in a very difficult spot, but he's not going to give up the religion. And that tension cuts through The Faithful Spy. In the later books, the religion became, and I think this is one of the problems with the later books, it becomes a little bit difficult to know where to go with it. Because the books aren't about John Wells as Muslim. They're about John Wells as CIA operative and then ex-CIA operative.
No, I found the way that when he's back in the States, it becomes a struggle for him.
Yes.
Something that was so simple when he's there surrounded. To stick with it as a fish out of water, I thought was very realistic.
Exactly. And in the later books, that's difficult to keep that tension because, at some point he has to either drop the religion or just stop worrying about how it positions him. But you're right. Like in The Faithful Spy, he's very conscious of the fact that he's different.
Yeah.
Your work frequently uses real names, places, and events. Why did you decide to go that route, and how do you think it impacts the reading experience?
I wanted to make the books feel authentic, and I hope that using the real places and names to the extent that I can does make it feel more authentic. I also try to visit the places I write about and I have for the most part, and I do a fair amount of research. So I'm looking for an experience that will feel real to readers.
Now, the later books sort of pull away from that a little bit, and you do have fictional players in there. How did you decide? How did you transition that? Why did you transition?
Well, so Dudo eventually becomes president, and so that does take the books in a slightly different direction. Yeah. I think I didn't want Wells to be in the CIA forever. He couldn't be in forever. He's just not an organizational guy. And so for him, he needed to have some kind of contact. And so ultimately, Dudo's rise provides Wells with the access that he needs to continue to have interesting and important missions. I mean, that's essentially why I did that. And I also sort of there's a part of me that liked the idea that Wells does all this stuff. Wells hates Dudo really, and Dudo hates Wells, and yet Wells's work essentially accrues to Dudo's benefit throughout the books. Like that's definitely a theme. Is that
there's an element where they kind of need each other.
They do. I mean, Wells needs Dudo because Wells needs these missions, and Dudo can give him that access, and Dudo needs Wells because Wells has the skills to pull them off, and at the same time do it in a deniable way.
Sure. Well, let's switch for a minute here and talk a little bit about your nonfiction work. You mentioned the number, which we have in our collection. I have it right over there for you to sign. Now, all of your books, I mean, it's pretty clear you do a lot of research for anything that you write. I'm just wondering how the experience of writing nonfiction, what's the difference there?
So fiction is harder, it turns out, because at the end of the day, you have to look within yourself. And if you're doing it right, you have to feel those characters, and you have to figure out what they're feeling and tell their stories. And in the end, there comes a moment when you have to put the research down and just stare at the page until the words start coming out. And I don't know, maybe it's easy for Stephen King. I mean, maybe there are these people who write 2 or 3 books a year, and I don't know how they do that. It would wring me out by the end of the year to do it, and it never really got any easier. Whereas with nonfiction, it's about research, it's about finding stories, and it's about telling them organizing the facts, telling them in a way that people are going to be interested in and can understand. It's work, but it's less sort of soul crushing.
Sure, yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy and stressful schedule, it sounds like, to come here and hang out with us.
That was real fun.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
When we interviewed Julia Spencer Fleming, it was a lot lighter and goofier. Well, you weren't there. We just had your head on a stick,
which makes it much goofier.
Much goofier. Yeah, there was no prop comedy in the interview with Alex Berenson. And I'm interested. I don't know if he said it on the interview just now, but he said the next 2 books he's working on don't feature John Wells.
Yeah. In the curve, John Wells.
Right. Next will be the one about the marijuana question. And then the following one after that is just a standalone thriller not connected to Wells. So I'm interested in both of them.
Yeah.
It seems like whenever we have an author here, I usually have already liked their books, and then I like them even more because I liked him.
But aren't you afraid that his next book, there's going to be a murder mystery, and it's going to be this library director was
So you think he has it in for me?
Well, because you were worried about Joyce Carol Oates.
Oh, yeah.
I put you in there.
No, you kept saying she's going to put a terrible character in her book named Nick.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Because that tuna sandwich you got her was not up to snuff.
Oh, it was a little past its prime.
She said, no celery!
Yeah.
There was celery in that tuna.
She just threw it right up
right into,
Furious Joyce Carol Oates hurls tuna sandwich at hotel wall.
No, that did not happen.
It didn't happen, everyone, but it's a great headline.
All our authors have been very nice.
Maybe it has.
They've been very nice.
Yeah, I think we've had really good experiences all around.
Yeah.
So we got some great pictures, so we'll upload some of those.
He's a tall man.
He is tall.
Author we've had so far.
Tallest author, yeah. Although Alexander McCall Smith was very tall as well.
That's true.
So, but I think Alex here beat him.
Yeah.
Not physically, but I think he was. I think he was taller.
Yeah.
So,
in about 10 more years, we're gonna bring all the authors we've had together
for a cage match.
Wow.
Yeah, that is in the fine print of all the paperwork that we sent. So pretty good.
Yeah. Winner gets to co-write something with the president.
Oh, wow.
Loser co-writes something with James Patterson.
Can you choose a president? Does it have to be the current president?
They get to pick.
Oh, cool.
But it has to be a living president.
That I'm in. That would make sense, yeah.
So
otherwise everybody's just going to pick Richard Milhouse Nixon.
You think everybody's going to want to co-write a book with Nixon?
Yeah.
Out of all the dead presidents.
Yeah,
Nixon.
Yep.
The most literary.
A real spirit of collaboration.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Do you
We've
want
had a lot of fun discussing the
Yeah.
presidents today.
Yep. Nixon strikes me as an editor.
You think?
Somebody who would enjoy editing some work.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It's all crap. This is terrible.
Lots of red ink on that
I
manuscript.
doubt he'd say crap, though.
Yeah.
Nixon had a filthy mouth. I don't know if anybody's aware of that.
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah.
And on that wonderful note, let's turn it over to some library news.
Okay.
What do you have coming up?
Well, we are showing Wrinkle in Time, June 8th,
which I haven't seen.
Friday.
And I love Chris Pine.
At 3:30.
Haven't seen it.
p.m. In the Nancy Howe Auditorium.
Yep.
It's going to be our last after-school movie of this school year.
Is it now?
Until the next school year, until September.
You're not showing any movies over the summer reading program?
No, we are. This is
but
the
it's
last
not
after school.
I see.
Yeah.
Semantics.
And then I guess nothing for the next 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks, after these 2 weeks, we're starting our summer reading
Yeah,
program.
boy, it's hard to believe it's here already.
We've only got 2 more Mondays left, and then the 25th of June starts summer reading program for everybody.
all ages,
Adults, children,
pals and gals. Yep,
smaller children.
yep.
The
Smallest
the
of
smallest
children.
of
Yep.
children, yeah.
Yep, your Jimmy Carters.
Yeah.
Those over 100
Yeah, so
are
older
free to
adults.
participate.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
runs the full gamut.
Well,
Well,
Jimmy Carter's going to come in and sign up for our summer reading program just
He
for a
might.
tote bag?
I'll give him a call.
Okay.
See what's up. Book clubs are
Uh-huh.
currently reading. We're just finishing up 9 Lives by Wendy Corsi Staub.
Uh-huh.
And then the next one is Basket Case, not the Green Day song, by Carl Hyacin, which is pretty good so far. I'm in that one.
I don't know if I've ever told this to you, but sometimes I give myself the creeps.
Really?
In a way, I guess you could say my mind plays tricks on me.
I see.
It all keeps adding up.
You're just quoting lyrics again.
Sure, I
Is
guess.
that correct?
I guess. I'm thinking I'm cracking up.
Well, we're coming up on a lot of our summer programs, such as Music on the Lawn, which starts the end of June, and then Tuesdays on the Terrace begins in July. And our last concert before all that is the Young Sisters on June 14th. This is their 3rd year here. All new set lists. We're looking forward to having them back. So hope you can join us for that. Anything else you want to add for the good of the Audiobook show?
No.
All right. Well, our thanks to our special guest, Alex Berenson. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next week.